challenge, and there's plenty of ideas that have been thrown into the pot to do it. Things like heat pumps, nuclear energy, renewables. But what about hydrogen? Well, there's a lot of effort here in the county going into green hydrogen, which can be created using solar and wind energy, then stored, making gas in a completely renewable way. Our reporter Edward Rowe has been along to a plant just outside of Cheltenham to have a look.
I'm at Kiwa, just outside of Cheltenham. The company is an international one, employing more than 10,000 people in more than 50 countries. They're the experts you come to when you want to test boilers, ovens, fryers, even what you'd put on an open fire.
We have sort of filters up at the top of the chimney, and we measure what the emissions are.
So we've got 3 brick chimneys.
And then you collect the flue gases that go out the top. This is the only place in the country where these tests are carried out.
That's Mark Crowther. Above and beyond the testing in this little business estate on Stoke Road, he's trying to do something incredibly ambitious. Get green hydrogen into every home with a gas line. But what would that entail?
So what we have here are 3 modern combi boilers. A hydrogen combination boiler is effectively, as far as the householder is concerned, identical to a natural gas boiler. The government is just about to decide whether to require boilers to be hydrogen ready. It is an ordinary combination boiler, but the various settings of the onboard computer, and there's some small components in the burner, which means that when hydrogen comes to your village or town, man can come and change the computer settings, and you end up with this boiler here, which is producing no carbon emissions at all and is burning hydrogen. It's very, very easy change to make. They sell about 1.5 million boilers of these a year. That means that in about 15 years, all of the boilers in the UK will be hydrogen ready for less than half the cost of one nuclear power station. What I want to show you is really boring stuff. Hydrogen is meant to be boring, but it's very low carbon boring. It's all exactly the same yellow pipe. So we're now walking along the Stoke Road, and we're walking along the path of the new hydrogen gas pipe.
So underneath us is a gas pipe.
Underneath in the road there, gas pipe.
So how many of these pipes are pumping hydrogen through the UK? This is one of very few.
It's the first public pipeline.
The switch from natural to household gas would see a 90% reduction when it comes to emissions. But what about implementing it? So you've got a great big green tanker in front of us.
This is our hydrogen storage vessel. You make the hydrogen on site, on either the solar farm or on the wind farm. When the wind doesn't blow, you still have your hydrogen because you've stored the hydrogen underground in large washed out caverns. And there's lots of opportunity of hydrogen from the Sahara Desert, from parts of Spain, where you're pretty sure the sun is going to shine every day. You ship it back to the UK via maybe only 2 or 3 pipes.
So we've just been on our tour. You've shown me all aspects of the hydrogen world and the energy world, actually. And I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about, first of all, safety, because when people think of hydrogen, it might have a bit of a bad rep PR-wise because of things like the Hindenburg disaster, for instance. Tell us a little bit about the safety record and why it's okay to be pumped through pipes in people's homes.
Just to go back to the Hindenburg, this was an aviation disaster, not a hydrogen disaster.
And do you think, though, that sort of dramatic image is given it a bit of bad PR for it, in a sense?
Clearly, we have to take it, as the industry, have to take it very seriously. But the gas industry is extremely safe. You're more likely to be killed by lightning than you are by natural gas in the UK.
Some say that heat pumps are more efficient and hydrogen is less efficient to heat homes. What would you say to that?
Numerically, that is entirely correct. A condensing boiler firing hydrogen might be 85 to 90% efficient. A heat pump, on average, over the year, to 260%, 270%. But that's the average over the year. And unfortunately, with a heat pump, the winter, because it's colder, it has a slightly lower efficiency. More importantly, though, most people don't do things on the grounds of thermodynamics and efficiency. It may be the most efficient way of going to Edinburgh is probably by train, but people fly and people go by car because that's a choice on economic grounds.
So will we see a hydrogen future? The pipes are there, the boilers can be built, but will government approve legislation to make all boilers hydrogen friendly? We'll have to wait and see, but one thing's for sure, if the UK is going to decarbonise, there is no one silver bullet here, and lots of different aspects will be needed.
Our reporter Edward Rowe being shown around Kiwa, played out by a hydrogen safety whistle there. That's very good. It's, yeah, the other ones are the best, aren't they? That's a hydrogen safety. Sounded very much like a Swanee whistle to me, but it's hydrogen safety whistle. Developed by Kiwa Energy, a company with bases in Camp near Stroud. So it just shows how much stuff's going on when it comes to energy development in our county. Once again, Gloucestershire, the centre of the universe. 18 minutes.